So I said, nah, don't believe in it. They're like, what do you mean you don't believe in it? I said, if you want to get disciplined, don't wait till January 1st. Start freaking now. And then I realized, just execute. Don't worry about coming up with a plan. What are we trying to get done? Cover and move, simple, prioritize and execute, decentralized command. If you put me on the road one more time right now, it's going to be self-destruction. These 2 parties you wanted me to go to, not going. These principles that we talk about for business, they work for life as well. They work for the family. They work in the house. I'm not going 3 kilometers off course with my life at this juncture. It would be pretty pathetic if I did.
So 2025, everyone's making New Year's resolutions. Why do people make New Year's resolutions and they don't see them through?
Well, you probably heard me say this before. I don't really believe in motivation at all. I just believe in discipline. And motivation may or may not be there when you wake up in the morning. And it doesn't matter. What matters is discipline. What matters is that when the alarm clock goes off, you get up and do what you're supposed to do. So that's how I feel. That's how I operate. Do I always feel like getting up out of bed at 4:30 in the morning? No, I don't. I don't always feel like it. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Like, I'll have a workout. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get the thing done. Is it going to be the best workout ever? May not be, but I'm going to get it done. We're going to make something happen. So I'm not a big believer in motivation. I just believe in discipline.
So you don't believe in motivation, which is based on feelings, but why discipline? Like, what drives the discipline?
When you are trying to achieve something, you're trying to achieve that thing for a reason. And so when you ask me, why discipline? Well, we're trying to make things happen. We're trying to move forward in life. And for me, when I think about the friends that I lost, and I know you've lost a lot of friends as well. We talked about the Battle of Ramadi, and in the Battle of Ramadi, I lost guys, Mark Lee, Mikey Munster, Ryan Job. Those are my guys that I lost in Ramadi. And of course, just like you, the list of people that we've lost is immense. They gave us this gift of this opportunity. They gave us the sunrise in the morning. They gave us the sunset at night. And I want to make sure that I do everything I can and live in a way that those guys are watching me and they're nodding their head and they're smiling and they know that I appreciate this gift that they gave me, and I will not squander it.
Live for what they died for.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Now, as far as, the New Year's thing, for the past couple of years, we've been running this thing called the DEF Reset, the Discipline Equals Freedom Reset. We do in a conjunction with Echelon Front and Jocko Fuel. And it's just awesome. It's just basically have everyone come up with a plan. We kind of get ready in December. And the reason I realized this, because I used to, the first time that we were going to run this, I said, nah, don't believe in it. They're like, what do you mean you don't believe in it? I said, if you want to get disciplined, don't wait till January 1st. Start freaking now. And then I realized, when we would go on missions, we didn't go on a mission without a plan. Like, we came up with a plan and figured out how we were going to do things. Situation, mission, execution, admin, logistics, command and control. We came up with a plan. And so here I was telling everyone, just execute. Don't worry about coming up with a plan. So this thing that we run, DEF Reset, that's a good way. We'll have probably 100,000 people doing it this year. And you're going to get disciplined. You're going to wake up early in the morning. You're going to work out first thing in the morning. You're going to prioritize and execute, meaning you're going to write down the things that you're supposed to do during the day, and then you're going to go do them. You're going to eat clean food, right? You're going to clean fuel for your body, and you're not going to eat any sugar-coated lies like donuts or whatever other crap you're putting into your body. You're going to make sure you hydrate. You're going to read or write every day. And then finally, you're going to remember. You're going to take that moment every day to remember the people that sacrificed so that you can be here and you can live this life and you can live it well.
All these books you've written, you got, your supplement company, you got the podcast that we're sitting in your studio right now, Extreme Ownership and Echelon Front Business, all these things you're doing. What is your recipe to balance it all and maintain a healthy personal life, family life, mentally and physically not being just drained and depleted? Have you figured that out yet?
Yeah. So the answer to that is something that I once wrote about. It's the 4 laws of combat leadership: cover, move, simple, prioritize, and execute, decentralized command. This is the literal crux of what we teach at Echelon Front. These are the things that I taught the SEAL platoon leadership. These are the things that I've taught to hundreds, thousands of leaders across the country and across the world. Cover, move, simple, prioritize, and execute, decentralized command. Taking extreme ownership that's the cornerstone, but cover, move, that means we have to work together. If you and I are working together, sometimes you got to pick up the slack, sometimes I got to pick up the slack. We got to cover, move for each other. That's what we have to do. If we have a good team, there's going to be some times where you're going to be not able to accomplish your part of the job. I'm going to step in there and do it. This is what I have to do with my wife, right? This is what you have to do with your wife. Oh, I got some extra time right now, or I don't have extra time right now. My wife's going to cover for me. My wife handles a whole portion of my existence. She does everything in a whole portion of she handles finances. She handles everything that has to do with my house, with my kids, with the administration she's the COO of my life, right? And so she's doing all that. And she also doesn't come to me and ask me to do things that she knows that I can't get done. And I don't ask her to do things that I know she can't get done. So we have to cover, move for each other. We support each other, and we do that with our kids as well. Kids need to step up. Once your kids get a little older, I know you've got older kids, they can step up and start doing things. So cover, move, simple. What's the plan? What's the plan, and what is the strategic goal that we're trying to reach? What are we trying to get done? Because if we don't have a plan as a family about where we're trying to be and what we're trying to make happen, we're never going to get there. Same thing with our business. What is our plan for the business? What are we trying to make happen? Where are we trying to get to? If we don't have a plan, then how can we possibly execute it? And then we need to communicate that in a simple, clear, concise manner that everybody on the team understands. And if we do that, we can all move in the same direction. And then prioritize and execute. Priorities are going to come up. Sometimes the priority is going to be work. Sometimes the priority's got to be home. Sometimes the priority is going to be this business. Sometimes it's going to be that business. So we need to figure out which is the most important priority at that time. It doesn't mean target fixation. It doesn't mean that we forget about everything else. But there's times where I tell my wife, like, hey, have you seen my calendar for the next 6 weeks? And she's like, no. And I go, it's ugly. It's all full. You're not going to be seeing much of me. And by the way, these two parties you wanted me to go to, not going. And okay, it's going to be 6 weeks. 6 weeks. After that, we can hang out for a weekend. It's going to be all good, but 6 weeks going to suck. Okay, cool. So she understands what the priorities are. And we have to do that back at work as well. Hey, listen, if you put me on the road one more time right now, it's going to be self-destruction. I need a block of time. I need 3 days where I'm not going anywhere. So we have to prioritize and execute, and we have to constantly modulate where those priorities are and be executing on the right thing. And then the last one is decentralized command. Decentralized command means everybody leads. And so I've got companies that they're running and they need very little interaction from me. Sometimes, though, I need to step in and help out with something. Sometimes I can totally back away. Sometimes I don't have to worry about one of my businesses for 4 weeks, barely talk to anybody. Then something goes wrong, I might have to jump back in there and see what's happening, see if they need any guidance from me. Decentralized command is how we make things happen without having to do everything ourselves. And yes, it's the same thing with our families. So our kids, we want them to be able to go out and operate on their own and make things happen for themselves. So the way that I do the stuff that I do is because I implement the principles that I actually talk about. That's how this works. Cover, move, simple, prioritize and execute, decentralized command. And when something is going wrong, I know it's because I'm not implementing those principles effectively. If I have something that's taking up a bunch of my time, okay, something's going on. I'm not prioritizing correctly, or I don't have decentralized command where someone's covered, or people don't know what they're supposed to be doing, or people don't realize that I need coverage right now. So these principles that we talk about for business, they work for life as well. They work for the family. They work in the house. They work. And that's why they've been so popular, and that's why they gain so much traction.
That's gold, man. And I tell you why you just talked about what you teach, and I asked you a question about what you do, and you're implementing. You're a user.
Yes, I get high on my own supply, as they say in the drug dealing world. Yeah, I practice what I preach. And when things aren't going well, it's because I'm not practicing.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for me to recognize. It's very easy for me to recognize, like, oh yeah, I'm not doing that. And so I don't end up wildly off course. You know, it's like when you were in a platoon back in the day, like you get experience, you don't make a big mistake and you're like, wait a second, I'm totally lost. I don't know where I am. You go, hey, wait a second. Where's that? Shoot a resection off that hill over there.
Doesn't feel right.
Oh yeah. We're 400 meters off course. Okay, cool. Let's course correct. We don't go 3 kilometers off course. I'm not going 3 kilometers off course with my life at this juncture. It would be pretty pathetic if I did. I'm not going 3 kilometers off course. I don't want to go 1 kilometer. I don't want to go 500 meters off course. Hey, do I go 100 meters? Yeah, I'll need to make some course corrections. Of course, we all do. But if you're paying attention and you're utilizing these principles, you're gonna stay on course.
Summary of Jocko Willink's conversation. Key takeaways for achieving 2025 goals. Key insights from Jocko Willink. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is unreliable and transient. Discipline is consistent and dependable. Success comes from adhering to a routine and executing tasks regardless of how you feel. The power of a plan. Just as military operations require planning, achieving goals demands clear, actionable plans. Start planning now. Don't wait for arbitrary dates like January 1st. The discipline equals freedom reset. Jocko's structured approach includes waking up early to tackle the day head-on, exercising daily, even if it's not perfect, prioritizing and executing tasks with focus, eating clean and avoiding unhealthy habits, hydrating and practicing self-improvement by reading or writing, taking time to remember the sacrifices of others, fostering gratitude. 4 laws of combat leadership applied to life. Cover and move, work collaboratively, support family, friends, and colleagues when needed, sharing responsibilities effectively. Keep it simple. Create clear, concise plans with defined goals. Avoid overcomplicating. Prioritize and execute. Identify the most critical task and address it without losing sight of other priorities. Decentralized command. Empower others, family, teammates, employees, to lead and make decisions independently. Extreme ownership in action. When things go off course, examine where you failed to apply these principles. Course correct, promptly to avoid drifting too far from your goals. How to implement these lessons in 2025. Daily structure and accountability. Start each day with a set routine. Wake up early, work out, and prioritize tasks in writing. Hold yourself accountable by tracking progress. Clear goal setting. Break down resolutions into actionable steps. For instance, improve health could translate to exercise 30 minutes daily and limit sugar intake. Collaborate and delegate. Share responsibilities within your household and workplace. Let others lead where they excel. Stay adaptable. Regularly assess your progress. If you drift off course, adjust quickly. Treat setbacks as opportunities to refocus, not failures. Practice gratitude and perspective. Reflect daily on the opportunities and sacrifices that allow you to pursue your goals. By embedding discipline into your lifestyle, implementing clear plans, and fostering collaboration, you can make your 2025 resolutions a reality and maintain a balance across personal, family, and professional domains.